financial system versus the British financial system? What would you say are some big differences?
I think the important, I actually think the important things about them are what's the same. Because you've got two nations that are sovereign in their currency, right? And this is particularly interesting right now, since our friend AOC, right, has been talking about MMT, modern monetary theory, and the ability of any sovereign issuer of currency to print money and therefore not go bankrupt. And it's actually technically true that obviously if you are an issuer of currency, you literally can create it out of nothing, then you cannot go bankrupt because you can always pay your bills. And it's this is something in my book actually I talk about. I think my book is probably the first time where I do a counterpoint between Austrian economics and modern monetary theory. I was discussing that before it was cool. You know, AOC made it cool. And interestingly, a lot of folks in the free market, libertarian kind of communities have been attacking AOC and therefore modern monetary theory. But I've written about this. I actually have an article on my website that it's not the theory that's so much the problem as the system that the theory describes, which is the system we live in which governments spend money into existence. Money is created by spending from the private sector into the public sector. From the public sector into the private sector. Too much beer, that's my excuse for that. And also, obviously, by banks. You go to a bank, you ask for a mortgage. The money multiplier thing, that's a complete myth. A bank has never rejected somebody with good credit because the bank declared it didn't have enough money to loan. Right? That's not how it works. So you've got these two sources of money creation, and it is important that free market folks, libertarians, those kinds of people, actually understand MMT because it actually gives them more ammo for explaining why the monetary system we live in, the current methods of money creation, are so fundamentally unjust. Why they actually economically disenfranchise regular folks and necessarily move assets to essentially bankers, companies with special privileges to do things with money, creating money, that if we did it, you or I, would be criminal.
What are your thoughts on the demand to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour?
This is interesting. So, you've got a problem with principle. It is definitely taking the bottom rung away for people that need jobs that pay less than $15 an hour. So I have an issue with it. Now, in Britain, this was done some time ago. I want to say under Tony Blair. I could be wrong about that. And the argument that I've just made, the problem that I've just declared, was also declared, and they did it anyway. And the data showed that there wasn't, well, I'm sure it's disputable, but to the best of my knowledge, the data showed that the impact that free market folks were worried about with respect to the loss of jobs, that wasn't borne out. Now the question is that simply because the level was set so low that the effect was in the noise? I, on principle, have an issue with it because I think it is wrong to basically interfere with voluntary interactions between people that benefit both parties. Right? This is what a true free market is. It is agreements made between people for mutual benefit, which could be an employer and an employee. It's a very dangerous game to start interfering in that. To the specific question of what the consequences actually are, give me the data. And by the way, I live in Seattle, and the data are coming in, and I do believe in the domains. It's certainly in the domain of restaurants and that. The data do show that there has been an impact on employment, and there's been an impact on the businesses, right, of the employers, and therefore on employment, right? So directly and indirectly. So I think certainly at the amount it's being looked at in the United States, $15 an hour, which is kind of, that's the number, right? It's the magic number here. It does seem to be problematic.